Hi guys, I would like to welcome you to Joyce's Plant-Based Kitchen. Today we are going to make a fast chili and a hearty chili. Okay, my channel is going to focus on making plant-based meals that your family will eat as well, okay? Or plant-based meals for you and feeding your family who is not plant-based. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a chili today. The only difference you're gonna have with them is you're gonna add the meat, okay? So it'll be real quick and easy, and this will be something you can do in the future just for the family and you. Just add the meat. If they have to have the meat, add the meat. I am in a family that is not plant-based. My husband is steak 4 or 5 times a week, so he is definitely not plant-based. I feed my family. My son is keto, and my daughter will eat plant-based, so I can kind of get away with it a little bit with her. First off, I want to show you why I decided to make a chili, okay? Because I do Flash Foods. It's a Flash Foods app. And today, I'll just show you here what I got. I got this huge box for $5. It's an app you download. My daughter had told me about it. It's the best thing I ever did. And in the Flash Foods app this time, there were peppers, there was red onions. They put everything together. There's the orange pepper, there's some apples, lemons, tomato, and then when you get it home, just sort it out and do whatever you want to do with it. So the reason I decided on chili today is because I had all this extra vegetables. So what I decided to do is I'm going to just do something really quick. Now I do veggie broth or water. For this one, you can do, I'm just going to do water for today because I don't want to open a whole veggie broth. Just if you need to thin it out. You might not need to thin it out, okay? So we're going to make it real fast and easy. I will put the recipe in the comments down below. But as you can see here, you're not really even going to need a recipe. This is coming home from work. I work full time. I come home from work. I feed my family. I come home at 4:30. We're eating by 5:30. So I've been doing this for years. About 5.5 years ago, I was diagnosed first with ovarian cancer. Turned out to be appendix cancer, which I've never heard of. So it's very rare. And I had a 12-hour surgery, and I, God willing, made it through. Okay, it was brutal. They told me it was going to kick me back for a year, and believe me, every day of that year, it absolutely did. So it was a struggle. But I had started to go plant-based before that. I thought, I feel like I want to go plant-based. This sounds good. This sounds healthy. And then being diagnosed with that kind of set me back a little because I couldn't even eat for a while. I was on, I had the I called the food tube. It was the TPN that they give you so that I could eat that way. That was the only way. I was like malnourished after the surgery and things like that. So I did come a long way as far as that goes. And it was 5 years in August, this past August, it was 5 years. And I'm not going back. So I'm going to continue eating plant-based. I've never felt better. I'll be 57 in a couple weeks. And I feel better than when I was 30. So, this is a great way of eating. I'm here to just help you if you want to stay plant-based, but also make foods for your family that you don't have to, you could stay plant-based, feed them, and sit down and have dinner with them. You don't have to isolate yourself. You don't have to be a hermit and not go out. I will show you what I do when I go out to restaurants. We'll do that in another episode. Maybe I'll just do a restaurant episode where I can show you what to do when you go out to eat and how you can stay plant-based and eat plant-based, okay? So I'm gonna do this real quick. I just minced up some garlic. Now I took a class, supposed to be 3 months, but it ended up being a year because I clicked the wrong class. So I took a class that is, I'm able to, I said to them, what am I going to get? I have a certification in plant-based eating for culinary. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? And they said, well, you can actually open up your own food truck. You can go to hospitals and talk and teach them how to incorporate plant-based eating into the foods at the hospital, which I will absolutely actually be doing in the spring next year. So anyway, I'm going to start with making this simple for you, and I'll show you as it's cooking, okay? So in my Flash Foods, I had a pepper that was just starting to get a little bit. I never really put green pepper in my chili. Usually my daughter, she doesn't care for green peppers or celery, But since I'm actually making this for my lunch and to freeze for the week, the freezer's your friend. I put little containers in the freezer, and then if I have to rush to work in the morning and I get up, I just grab one and go. So think about that and make, if you want it like on a Sunday, if you want to meal prep, that's fine. I hear a lot of people saying, I don't want to be plant-based because I don't have time to prep. If you really take the time and take 2 hours on a Sunday and prep, you can get a lot of food for the week, from salads to your soups to whatever. But I don't really do a lot of meal prep. I'll maybe make some overnight oats or things like that, but I grab it out of the freezer. I make a wrap. I keep it simple. So don't stress over being plant-based. Just think of it as food for your health, food that's going to make you feel better, and just don't stress over it. And we'll work on this together as far as feeding our family, because you can do it. If I can do it for over 5 years, and I have 9 grandchildren, I have a son and a daughter, I have a husband who is never going plant-based, and I'm able to do it. And as far as going out to eat, when I do the restaurant one, you'll see every night I come home from work, and if I don't have something already cooked, it's usually like Thursdays and Fridays, maybe I won't cook, he'll say, where are we going to eat? Where do you want to go out to eat? Let's go out to eat. And it's like, I don't mind. Before it was a big, oh, I don't want to go out to eat because it was stressful. What am I going to eat? Where am I going to go? What am I going to have? I've mastered that, let me tell you. So I will work on that with you guys. If that's an issue, you can let me know in the comments if that's something you struggle with, okay? But right now, we are going to put the green peppers in, because I'm making this as much vegetables as possible. I'm going to put in my celery, okay? Because I had some carrots, I'm going to which I don't normally put in my chili, but I want carrots in my chili since it's going to be me for lunch, and I am going to add the carrots to that. And then I use the red onion. Normally I use a yellow onion or white onion, so I'm going to add that too. And we're going to saute this up just to soften everything with a little bit of water, okay? So I will show you that, how we're going to do that, and let you see how it is to sweat out the vegetables, okay? Okay, so all I'm going to do here is just sweat out these vegetables. I put a little bit of water in them and just get them softened. You know, they're going to cook. It depends how fast you want to eat your chili, but I'm going to leave them cook. And I'll let my chili simmer for a while, you know, even a half an hour till everything has come together. But right now, I'm just going to sweat out these vegetables and let them cook down. Just add more water as you go. Or like I said, if you prefer vegetable broth, add vegetable broth. You can also add water. And if you want to add a little bit of the vegetable bouillon, you could do that as well. And we're just going to let this cook down for a little bit before we start adding. And I'll wait to add the garlic after I cook this up first. Okay guys, so what I did here was now we sweated out all the vegetables, and as you can see, there's not really a lot of extra water or anything in here. So if you want to add some of your veggie broth to thin it out a little after, that's fine. If you like it a little thicker, don't worry about it. So I sweated all this out now, and I'm just going to show you here, so then I'll show you how the finished product and how it's cooking on the stove. I've got 2 cans of the dark red kidney beans, because that's what I like. So I'm put 2 of those in there. And then I got 2 cans of the pinto beans. I wanted something different. Normally when I make it for my family, I just do 4 of the dark red, but I wanted to have a little different bean for me in here. So I'm going to add both of those. That's 4 cans of beans, guys. We need our beans. So I'm adding all that in. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I have 2 of the 28 ounce cans of the crushed tomatoes. So I'm going to add those in. And what I'll do is I'll rinse out the cans to get all of it out and that'll give me a little more water. I'll just rinse that out a little bit, pour that in, and get it on the stove, and I'm going to let this simmer, okay? So now we're going to do our spices. I'm not a big cumin fan, okay? So I will add some, but for me, I'm not crazy about it, but I do like a little bit of the flavor, so I'm just going to sprinkle some in. If you like that and you're a fan of that spice, you want to add more in, that's up to you. That's good. Whatever you like, you add it to it. Whatever your family likes, if they like it spicy, add it to that. Then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of the chili powder. Okay? So, whoa, there's already 1. And then I'll probably just do a little bit on that because it kind of overflowed on that last one. So we'll kind of just go halfway on there. That's good. Then I'm going to add just a little bit of oregano, not a lot, but just for me, I like a little bit of oregano. You said you don't have to. This can be your recipe as well. You put whatever you want in here, just giving you ideas. I'm a big garlic powder fan. I added garlic in there, but I'm going to add a lot of garlic powder for me. And then lastly, I just have some regular paprika. You can do smoked paprika. You want it spicier, guys, you can add hot sauce. You can do whatever you want to this. So I'm just going to add a little bit extra there. If you do salt or whatever, you can add that. I will add some fresh ground pepper while it's cooking. I'll show you. We're going to simmer this up and get all these spices, okay, cooking together. We'll get them all mixed up. I'm going to rinse out those cans, put a little bit of water in it, and you'll see the consistency of this, that it's going to be perfect. I don't think you need to add anything, but you know, if you like it a little thinner, that's up to you. You can add more to it. Like I said, hot sauce, whatever else you like to have in your chili, make it your own. You know, this is just giving you an idea. And when it's all done, if you have to make meat for your family to serve them, cook the meat on the side, take out what you want. If you want 2 bowls, take it out. If you want to have some for your lunch, whatever. And then add your meat, make a double batch if you want to. You know, that's up to you. It's how much time you have or what you want to do for yourself, for your family, so you can sit down and you can have dinner with them. So I'm going to get this on the stove and get this going, and I'll show you what it looks like while it's cooking. Okay, guys, look at the consistency of this. I did rinse out the cans of the crushed tomatoes, and that just gave it just enough thickness for me. I'm not going to add any more water or veggie broth or anything, but like I said, if you want a little soupier or whatever for your taste, go right ahead. And then I'm going to add just some fresh ground pepper on top. And when you eat the chili, if you want to add, if you're the type that uses like the plant-based cheese or anything like that, and you want to add that on top, or you make a plant-based sour cream or something like that, you can add that on top to this. But other than that, we are done. I will show you the finished product in a bowl, but I'm going to let this simmer for probably a half an hour to get all the spices to blend and everything. And at that time, while you're doing that, if you wanted to make meat for your family, you can fry that on the side, cook it however you want on the side for them, and put it together, take yours out, put theirs together, and have a nice dinner with your family. Okay, guys, we are here with our bowl of chili, and it is delicious. So, why don't you try this recipe? Add the meat for your family if that's what they want. I don't think they'll need it, and I think we can try to make some recipes that they'll eat, not knowing there's not meat. I actually made this for a party at work, and the one gentleman said to me, that was the best chili I ever had. And I said, really? You liked it without the meat? And he's like, didn't have meat in it? I didn't even notice. So, you know, there's little tips and tricks we can try to do that we can maybe, you know, get your family eating healthier. Maybe get them on that plant-based train. But I understand, and that's why I'm here, because my family is not plant-based, and I want to show you little things you can do to stay plant-based, because after all, it's about your health. I mean, I understand they want to eat the way they want to eat, but like even in my situation with having cancer and things like that, I want to eat the way I want to eat, and I'm going to do this for me. So I want you guys to do it for you. I want you to stay happy, stay healthy, most importantly, stay plant-based.